Hi everyone, welcome to Netsync's 2022 SKO. I've got with me today Brian Wade. He's the National Channel Manager for Fortinet. Hi Brian, how are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks for having me, Mark. I'm excited to be here. Happy birthday to you guys.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, it's Netsync's 20th birthday, and we'll be talking a little bit about that at the end. So obviously there's a lot going on with security. There's a lot going on, out there with remote work and the pandemic and all this. And you were hearing about supply chain and all these things that are going on. And obviously Fortinet's right in the middle of a lot of that. Got a lot of good things going on at Fortinet. And I just kind of wanted to know, for our audience, why do customers care about Fortinet?
Yeah, so
please introduce a little bit about yourself. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So Brian Wade here. I live in Austin, Texas. Excited to be here. I'm the channel manager for Netsync. The channel manager with Fortinet for Netsync, and I've been with the company for 6 years. So again, very excited to be here. And yeah, we're some of the challenges we're seeing from customers. A lot of them kind of stem from when COVID hit. So there was a huge digital acceleration that happened when COVID hit because these organizations had to figure out how to get their employees online and productive very quickly. And so there was a migration to the cloud and a network redesign, and they had to do all of this securely. Okay, and there's also a cyber skills gap going on in the world right now. And so what Fortinet allows customers to do is consolidate their security vendors onto a single platform, which helps with cost savings, operational efficiencies. The leaner you can run your environment, the more successful you'll be in closing that cybersecurity skills gap.
Yeah, it's interesting. We're seeing pretty much all the tech manufacturers, not just in security, all going to the platform approach. So you don't have the integration issues, you don't have all the drama around that, and you kind of get a real good idea of a visibility around your entire environment by having that single platform.
Yeah, and we actually love that. We've been taking this approach for over 10 years now with our security fabric, so it's not new to us. Gartner is out there talking about their cybersecurity mesh architecture that they introduced last year, and they're recommending that to customers. And we actually love that they're doing that now, because when we hear that, we hear Fortinet Security Fabric, and this is what we've been talking about for a long time now.
That's fantastic. I think it's fair to say Fortinet's really started to move wider and deeper with that platform approach. Is that fair to say as well?
Yeah. I mean, we have a very broad set of security solutions that we go to market with, and the great thing about it is all these solutions, they're integrated with each other. And then we have an open ecosystem where we allow other third-party manufacturers to plug in, where we can share threat intelligence and policy information with them.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's really interesting how these platforms, I think a lot of people probably out in the audience are unaware. I mean, it starts all the way at threat intelligence. It's not just the firewall, switching, routing, all that. It's actually a much deeper, wider set of solutions that make up the platform today.
Yep.
So why, if I'm a customer, why do I care? And what kind of is driving the business for me? Why would I come to Fortinet?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to the consolidation and the operational efficiencies that you get with Fortinet. Gartner did a study a couple of years ago that said when they surveyed their customers, 80% of companies out there are looking to consolidate their vendors. And we feel like we're best suited to do that because we have the broadest set of security solutions that we go to market with.
Gotcha. And it's for remote work and during the pandemic, that platform approach that help a lot of customers? Is there a particular use case you can think of or something along that line?
Yeah, so one of the things that we've done very well is we established a strategic alliance with a company called Linksys, which enables us to provide internet access to students that may not have that access today. And we've actually done some projects with you guys where we were able to do that. And the government is behind this initiative, and they're funding a lot of these projects for customers as well.
Yeah, I love the example you just gave in the presentation too, the use case with Eric and all that. That was fantastic. Yep. Well, look, I really appreciate the time. Is there anything else you would like to tell the audience, or do you think the audience ought to know about Fortinet and what the value proposition is, or something along that lines?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you guys are looking to consolidate vendors, there's no better company to help you than Fortinet. On average, companies out have, your customers have 45 different security vendors that they're responsible for. And so take a look at Fortinet, help us to help you take that first step with consolidation and so that we can deliver on that cohesiveness and that response time and that operational efficiency that we're talking about.
So that I'm glad you said that part, because that actually brings up one more question before we wrap up. So where do you typically see customers start with Fortinet, with the platform? Is there a specific piece that they usually start in the platform that's common and then they grow off of that?
Yep.
I know we know about FortiManage and a lot of the things that are part of the Fortinet platform, but where do they start off? And it might be good for the audience to know where that is.
Yeah, no, that's a great question, because we do have a very broad portfolio and it can be overwhelming sometimes. And a lot of times we are brought in to solve a specific use case for a customer. And once we're able to deliver on that, and customers, start to get used to the operating system, the simplicity of it, and the consolidation, a lot of times they do expand with us.
Gotcha.
But to answer your question, the majority of the time we're being introduced to an account, it's with our FortiGate. That's what customers know us for. That's what we're in the Gartner Magic Quadrant for. It's what majority of our revenue comes from today. And in Gartner, they talk about we have the best price performance ratio in the industry. And one of the really cool things we do with our FortiGate is we develop our own ASIC technology that helps us to offload traffic by type so that there's no bottleneck in performance as you turn on additional services.
That's awesome. Okay, well, great. Well, look, Brian, I really appreciate the time and learning more about Fortinet and FortiGate and the platform itself. It's all great stuff for our audience. And thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Appreciate the partnership.
Absolutely.